Welcome back to the Grail Standard podcast, where we explore ancient virtues, timeless myths, and the path of becoming a better man in a complicated world. I'm your host, Sir Yvain, and today we're diving into a topic that sits right at the intersection of legend, ecology, and real-world responsibility. We're talking about permaculture, the Lady of the Lake, and how Arthurian mythology can guide us in becoming protectors of the land in our own modern context. And we'll be tackling a powerful misconception. Chivalry isn't about being a millionaire, a tech mogul, or someone with global influence. Chivalry is about the courage to take action in your local world, and trusting that those actions create ripples that reach far beyond what you can see. So settle in, take a breath, and let's explore what it means to heal the land like a modern knight. Arthurian mythology is filled with battles, quests, and mystical relics. But beneath it all, there is something deeper. A sacred relationship between the people and the land. In many of the older stories, the land isn't just scenery. It's living reality. It thrives when the people are virtuous and decays when they fall into corruption or neglect. That brings us to the Lady of the Lake. She isn't merely a magical figure handing out swords. She represents the very spirit of the natural world, the waters, the forests, and the balance of the environment. She gives Arthur Excalibur not because he desires power, but because he accepts responsibility. She supports leaders who honor the land and withdraws her favor when they forget their duty. The myth contains a message as old as civilization itself. The health of the land reflects the health of the people. Fast forward to today, the modern world is full of environmental challenges. Soil degradation, waste, monoculture farming, and ecosystems under pressure. It's easy to feel helpless or disconnected. And yet this is where permaculture steps in as the modern expression of chivalric stewardship. Permaculture is based on three core ethics: earth care, people care, and fair share. These aren't just gardening principles, they're values, they're a code. They mirror the code of a knight, updated for an age where the greatest battles are ecological. Permaculture invites us to return to the ancient role of the protector. Nourish the soil, rebuild ecosystems, grow our own food, reduce waste, work with nature rather than against it. It is the modern version of honoring the Lady of the Lake. Recognizing the land as sacred and living in a way that protects it. Now let's break a myth that stops many people from taking action. Today people equate influence with scale. They think you need billions of dollars, massive platforms, or world-changing inventions to make a difference. But this is absolutely not the case. In the Arthurian tales, knights were not champions because they were wealthy, they were champions because they lived by a code, and because they acted consistently and courageously in their own realm. Chivalry is not about being Elon Musk. It's not about status, money, or global power. Chivalry is about the choices you make right where you stand. One backyard compost bin helps reduce methane. One community gardens builds resilience. One native flower bed supports pollinators across an entire region. One person reducing waste influences their family, their friends, and their community. Impact isn't measured by size, it's measured by direction. This is the heart of the episode. Global change begins with local action. Every movement that shifted history began with someone doing something small. A single person planting a tree. A small community sharing a garden. A household choosing to compost. A neighborhood reducing waste together. These actions add up, they spread, they inspire. This is the ripple effect of chivalry. Small acts of stewardship create waves that travel far beyond what the knight can see. When you choose to care for the land, whether it's a backyard, a balcony, or a community space, you become part of a worldwide network of guardians quietly healing the planet. This is what it means to answer the Lady of the Lake's call in the modern world. So how do you become a modern knight of the environment? It's simpler than people think. Grow something you can eat, plant native species, compost your food scraps, Fix tools instead of throwing them out, harvest rainwater if you can, support local farmers and markets, reduce single-use plastic, share knowledge with your neighbors, build community around sustainability. These actions are not small, they are foundational, they are virtuous. When you engage in earth care and community care, you embody the true meaning of chivalry: courage, discipline, compassion, responsibility. You don't need a sword or shining armor. Your tools are your hands, your habits, and your willingness to act. So today's lesson is simple. You don't need to be Arthur to heal the realm. You don't need Excalibur. You don't need a castle, a kingdom, or $1 billion. You just need the courage to begin. In the old stories, the Lady of the Lake chose her champions based on virtue, not fame, and today the world responds the same way. The world doesn't need superheroes, it needs caretakers, it needs guardians, it needs modern knights willing to honor the earth through small, consistent acts of goodness, and that knight can be you. Thank you for listening to the Grail Standard podcast. If today's episode inspired you, share it with someone who could use a reminder that small acts still matter, and that chivalry lives on through the way we treat the land and each other. Until next time, stand strong, act with honor, and continue your journey towards your own grail.